So as it darkens around in the studio, we are now going to welcome all 30 drivers up onto the stage, and everyone getting their cameras out. A lot of attention around these guys, Jimmy.
Tell you what, I haven't seen this place so packed as of yet. Now they're all in here waiting for the drivers to come out. Of course, these drivers have been practicing since yesterday. They've been practicing for this, and now here they are on the stage in Tokyo. We're about to come out anyway. Here they are.
So here come the drivers then. All in their Puma gloves and Puma boots as well. All 30 of them, I believe, are going to make their way out. First of all, we've got the Hong Kong, Taiwan and New Zealand block making their way onto the stage now. So these 30 drivers then will be narrowed down to 10 by the end of this live stream. And those 10 drivers will go through to the World Final. But we're now going to hear the national anthem of Japan. Well, let's hear a little bit more about how this is going to work. So there you can see the tournament structure. We've got drivers from Hong Kong, Taiwan, only one driver from Taiwan, and New Zealand. 10 of those will race, and the top 2 will go straight through. We'll follow that same format for the Japan race and the Australia race. Now, the first race for Hong Kong, Taiwan and New Zealand will take place at Kyoto Driving Park. The Japanese race will be at Fuji International Speedway, of course, introduced in the September update of Gran Turismo Sport, and the Australians will race at Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit. However, of course, that means only 6 of the 10 spots will be filled, so the drivers who finished 3rd through to 8th in all 3 races will be split then into 2 groups of 9, and the top 2 from those 2 repechage races will also progress through to the final. The main thing, Jimmy, is not to finish 9th or 10th. If you don't finish 9th or 10th, you're still in with a shout.
It's been a lot of fun being part of the championship. Obviously motorsport's a big passion of mine, so to be able to do that through Gran Turismo has been awesome. And then to get on stage as well, the excitement's just taken to a whole nother level. I'm really looking forward to the races.
5th place and 21st ranked in the region, Matthew Smith, aka Monkey Man 707.
Ranked 19th in the region and 4th. So we're going to be racing at Kyoto Driving Park, and it's going to be the reversed layout, I believe.
Gran Turismo original circuit, and very interesting one. It's great to have these original circuits in Gran Turismo, but it's a bit tricky for the drivers. A lot of fast corners around here, which means that tyre wear is going to be fairly tricky. We do have 3 compounds available, which are soft, medium and hard, that all have to be used at some point during this race. So there's going to be a lot of strategy coming into play. We're going to have some people possibly starting on the softer tyres, some people on the harder tyres, meaning at the start, harder tyres be a bit slower, but maybe towards the end they're going to have that soft tyre ready at the end and go for a fast finish.
So just to talk a little bit about this race then, it's going to be a 17-lap race. They have to use the soft, medium and hard tyre at one stage in the race. So to equip that, we have 10 times tyre wear. So a lot of tyre wear, and we have talking about how long the tyres are going to last. The soft tyres, we reckon, probably going to last around 5 laps, mediums 6 laps, and the hard tyre around 7 laps. In terms of the differences, time differences, we've been instructed that mediums probably going to be about 8/10 off the soft tyre, and the hards a further 7/10 back, so well over a second off the soft tyre. Right then, here we go for the first race. This, of course, for the Hong Kong, Taiwan and New Zealand region. On pole position then, we've got Jonathan Wong. Second place is going to be Simon Bishop. Then alongside we've got Hunter in 3rd place. 4th place is going to be Lee. Smith lining up on 5th place in the Mitsubishi Lancer. So the positions have been determined by where they are by their rankings in the region, Jimmy. And we're getting ready to go. Jonathan Wong's going to be on pole position, 17-lap race over to Jimmy Broadbent to talk you through the stuff.
So then Wong leading the field away from Bishop. AI just warming the tyres as of now. 3, 2, 1, and away we go here for the first race of the regional final here in Tokyo, Japan. Wong will lead us away round T1. A long left-hander followed by Bishop and Hunter behind. Law in 4th, Smith 5th, and Brown in 6th position. Wong leading nicely side by side behind there. That's Law and Hunter. Hunter in the AMG Mercedes goes to the inside. He should have the line here on the vantage, but no, not quite. Law pulls out in front, keeps in place. It's going to slow Hunter down though and put him back into the clutches of his countryman. Smith behind. Now then, coming down for this long, tricky right-hander. You see that Smith going for a little bit of an attempt there to go around the outside, make it a long corner. Didn't quite get that right. They're in the background, bit of contact there, Chris.
Interesting to see, actually, that only the medium and the hard tyres being used at the moment. So no one going for the soft tyre then, as Smith there heading through the right-hander uphill.
Starting to gain a little bit on Wong in the straight line there. I think that Aston has some legs in the straight line, Chris.
Hunter becoming under a little bit of pressure here from Smith, who was just about to stick his nose down the inside there, but fought the better of it, and Hunter's left the door open on the exit. Smith seeming to get the better run in that Lancer Evo as they go up towards the right-hander now at turn 2. This section that takes them uphill. Very tricky chicane, that one. I was trying that on the rigs yesterday, and can be a very tricky track.
Thoroughly embarrassing yourself as well, weren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I do that all the time anyway. But Hunter there coming under pressure. Wong is starting to get involved in this now as well. These two have to think about working together, I think, because if you're 3rd to 8th, you're going in the repechage anyway. So should they be thinking about working together to try and get closer to the top 2?
There's also a chance that perhaps maybe Smith is being held up by Hunter, who we're looking back from at the moment. So there's a chance he's looking to get by and maybe then pursue the top 2 himself, so he gets that automatic qualifying position. Right now it's just fighting really to get into the repechage. Really at the moment the big loser is Chang, having had that big incident at the start of the race. But at the moment it seems that Wong is actually closing in on Smith in the background there, so that might be the fight to watch. A great view though back on the spoiler. Now we're on board with Wong in the Subaru WRX Group 3, a great looking machine if I don't mind saying so myself. Coming on to the pit straight now to complete another lap. Let's see what these cars have in a straight line. There is a slipstream in effect here, of course, and these cars are all slightly different from each other, some faster in the straights, some faster in the corners. So maybe if you're having a difficult time through the S's, get to the straight and you might be able to pull a bit of that gap back.
In terms of car selection, first pick went to Jonathan Wong, and then last pick went to King Long Lee. Of course, that is determined by their rankings. If you've the top 2 from this will go into the world final, so will the top 2 from Australia, so will the top 2. Oh, big spin!
That's
big spin! Hunter's gone round! Has he thrown away his chance of going through to the world final? He needs to get back going. He's dropped to 7th and he's dropped to 8th.
Let's see what happens here. So we just come round down the hill. I think it's on this right-hander he gets it wrong, so he comes round. Yeah, he goes a bit wide.
Yeah,
one wheel on the grass, no chance, into the barrier on the inside. And importantly now, I think he's now outside the top 8. Yes, he is down to last position, even behind Chang now. So where he was in the repechage at the moment, now he is down outside of that and has a lot of work to do to get back inside the top 8.
Hayden Hunter has given himself a huge task to do now, with just over 12 laps to go as they come onto the start-finish straight. There's the battle for 4th place. I don't know why they're taking so many risks, Jimmy. Is it just because they're on the edge, or are they taking unnecessary risks? Here's a move. We'll come back to that because Wong just slips down the inside there of Matt Smith to go into 4th place. But if you're in that repechage race, surely the grid in the repechage races are going to be set by your rankings coming into the event. So finishing 3rd doesn't put you on pole for the repechage. It's just down to your rankings.
Yeah, well, you'd think they'd take it a bit easier, wouldn't they? But these guys have never really done that across any of the events. They always seem to go at it hammer and tong until you see Smith there smiling. He's having a good time there driving, and that's what we like to see around here. He's currently in 5th position. This is going to get one. Now we have our first pit stop. This is important. Jay Wong in. He's coming onto the hard tyre. And let's see, Law onto the hard tyre. Bishop, interestingly, going onto the soft tyre. So it's going to be a short life on that tyre, but he's going to be fast. So I think he wants to try and get out into the lead and maybe have a bit of a gap. Though saying that, Law is out in front. So Smith also onto the soft tyre as well. We have Wong going from the medium to the hard. I love this graphic. It makes our job very easy, doesn't it, David? And even though that might mean later on he'll still pass on strategy with higher tyre weight, you always want to have track position. Chris, you'll know that as someone who's racing the real world, track position is king. But now, saying that, we have a great scrap here for 4th position. Of course, all these guys right now are going through to the repechage, but it doesn't mean they aren't going to put on a good show for us.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, is it getting a little bit closer in? No, still Chang and Hunter actually sitting quite far back from 8th place, which is, of course, Matthew Brown. So Brown still has that last place in the repechage then. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, keep sending in your comments on the live stream. Jimmy just currently trying to respond to some of those.
On a Japanese keyboard, very different. Yeah, nothing is where it should be. Anyway, we'll come back to this. There is Brown there. He was saying he was very much hoping Kiwi can come through victorious in this event. Right now, that isn't going to be the case.
Bishop made that move, or is it just the fact that the gap between the two tyres is just that big that he had no chance of defending it?
Well, I think at this point he's thinking, right, let's let him go and get on with it. So we haven't got to end up with fighting and then losing his tyre. I think that's what Simon was possibly hoping. Now you see Simon's going to try and open up a gap as quick as he can. He's only got a couple of laps on that tyre to make a difference.
So that is crucial. He's got to close down this 1.7 gap to Jonathan Wong, get past and open up a gap straight away. So we're going to keep watching that interval time between Wong and Bishop come down. It's now less than 1.5 seconds. So let's run through the full order. We haven't quite done that yet. Of course, you can see it on the top left of your screen. Wong, Bishop, and we have Law, Smith, Wong, Brown, and then Wong, Lee, Chang, and Hunter. Chang and Hunter, to remind you, have both already had incidents in this race, which sees them sitting 10 seconds off of the top 8 and sees them currently as the first 2 drivers to be eliminated from the competition. Wong and Bishop at the moment sitting in the two positions that will take you straight into the World Final, which will take place in November, and everyone in between currently going through to the repechage.
We're still waiting for our leaders to come in. Here is 5th and 6th, here is Lee and Smith. Smith looking around the outside, they're not going to quite make that work, doesn't have a tyre advantage, so it's sort of stuck there for now. Might try and get him on the late apex on exit. Chang coming in, going from mediums to medium to stay on the same car. I don't think he's actually going to end up there.
Here we're looking at the battle for 5th place then, as they make their way now downhill. Lee just having to defend here. Smith just trying to get the cut back. Is he going to be able to do it? He's got a little bit sideways coming out of the corner, but Smith there losing a little bit of time now as they start to drop downhill. And Smith is going to have to stay in 6th place for now as they head uphill once again. So we're continuing to look at this 5th place battle then. To go back to the leaders, Jonathan Wong currently leading by just over 4.5 seconds at the moment. From Law, Bishop in 3rd place, Wong in 4th place, Lee is in 5th, Smith, Wong, Brown, Hunter and Chang. Hunter must have just come in for a pit stop actually, because all of a sudden he's 8.2 seconds. 9th place there, back from Brown. He's actually just lost a place to Chang, the driver from Taiwan. As they come on to the start-finish straight. This is the battle for 5th place. And once again, Smith putting a lot of pressure on the driver from Hong Kong now, the Kiwi. Try and have a look to the inside, is he? Cross back to the outside.
But otherwise, I don't think he's going to be challenged. Well, right now we'll come back down to 4th. Smith and Lee still going at it. Lee there with a cutback back up into 4th position. but he's going to be on the outside now for this next chicane. Oh, cuts across the nose of Smith. Thank you very much, sir. I'll take fourth position, he says.
And he is through, as you said, into fourth. Nothing Smith could do about that. Looks pretty hopeless, unfortunately, with the tyres he's got underneath him at this stage, in comparison to Lee, who quite comfortably sails past. Lee on the medium tyre, of course, and we have Smith there on the hard. The difference between those tyres is about 0.7 of a second.
Coming round now, the last right-hander, long right-hander. Feels like it goes on forever, and I'm sure it will for Jonathan right now, this being his win. And Jonathan Wong will be the first driver to go through automatically to the World Finals there. He flashes his lights. What a win there for Jonathan Wong.
Jonathan Wong takes the checkered flag, and the audience giving him a huge round of applause. He is going through to the World Final, and he takes a very deep breath. And going with him is countryman Yatlam Law. He may be some 8 seconds behind, but he will also be at the World Finals, and he is through to tomorrow as well. Bishop, unfortunately, the first of the drivers that will go through to the repechage. Lee will also go into the repechage in 4th place, as will Wong there in 5th place. Smith likewise. Brown also going into the repechage as well. Wang Chen Wong will be the last of the drivers to make the repechage. Let's welcome them onto the stage then. So they're going to be sent straight to the rigs. They're not going to line up this time. And
I'm going to make a bold prediction about this one, Chris.
Yes.
Nissan Skyline will win the race. That's my bold prediction.
Okay. Right, I will run through the grid, and then I'll hand over to Jimmy to talk us through the start. So let's have a look then. We've roughly been through who's in which car. Now the grid, as ever, is going to be formed on their regional rankings. So Wilk going to be going off the front there. Then alongside we have Holland, but for some reason it looks exactly like Wilk. Simon Bishop is going to be on P3. 4th place is Matt Smith, and then 5th place will be Adam Wilk.
Rolling start again. Come round the last right-hander here at Tsukuba for the last race of the day of the programme. And here we go then, away for the last 2 places in the Gran Turismo finals for the Nations Cup. Wilk with a strong start down to T1. Smith goes up the inside, or defends I should say, from Wilk in the 300ZX. I think rear wheel drive having a bit of trouble getting out of T1. On the grass already, Simon Bishop. Off. Simon Bishop off already.
So Simon Bishop off the circuit, and a lot of work to do. He's dropping all the way to 9th place.
Will start, especially when his hands are so strong off the line.
Well, at the front, no such problems for Wilk. He is leading the way at the moment as they head onto the back straight.
Well, they're fighting though, Chris. Holland goes up the inside. Yeah. We didn't see this in the last race. These guys are going side by side, which means that one of them is going to lose out with the long right-hander. Who blinks first? Wilk tries to keep it round the outside. He's not going to find much grip out there. Well, the Lance from the background exploring new parts of the circuit we never thought were there. A little bit of understeer, I think it's fair to say. And also the 300ZX looking to get involved as well. Great to see that car so high up.
Daniel Holland leading the way, and then we have David Wilk there in second. Oh, and we're side by side for third. That's Matt Smith and Adam Wilk side by side. Smith comes away in 3rd place. Natsuke Ota is there in 5th place, and then it's Hargreaves, Lee, Bishop with a lot of work to do, and then Voon at the back of the grid at the moment. So now down through the right, left they go, down towards the hairpin, and Smith in 3rd place doing a good job on this lap. He's closing in on David Wilk here.
Wow.
And he's bringing with him Adam Wilk, so this could get very close between the top 4.
Adam getting very sideways, as does Smith in front. And it looks like that Smith does have the legs in that Lancer. Great to see a car taking the challenge to the Nissans. I wonder if he can get amongst them. Of course, just to reiterate, it is only the top 2 in this race that will go through to the World Final. Everyone else is out of the running of that particular competition. So we'll just keep on board now with Adam Wilk. Using all the runoff there, you can hear under the tyres. He's got a good run though, runs to the inside of the Lancer. He's just about got a nose, he might get it done, keep it nice and tight. A little bit of door game in between the two, but they seem to be both okay. Now who's got the traction? The Lancer gets on the grass a little bit, slows himself down. Now it's a drag race down to the hairpin. The Lancer does have the inside line here though, and that should be a defence there for Smith.
Natsuke Ota almost able to take advantage there, and
he
might do. Yes, he does, and he's up into 4th, so got a good traction there, and was now up into 4th place. The only problem for Matt Smith out of all of this is that he's lost ground to David Wilk in 2nd place. He's lost about 8/10, of course, to be exact, so now has some work to do. A bit of breathing space for David Wilk. How has Daniel Holland got this far away? He's over 3 seconds down the road.
Holland just gone, you know what, I'm actually not going to race in this race. And he's just gone, so it looks like Holland is very keen on securing that 1st place through to the World Final. However, it's nowhere near over between David Wilk and Matt Smith behind, coming now down to the hairpin, also the T1 once again. Sorry, they're all pretty much hairpins around here, but they aren't sharp. It's very difficult to get alongside someone around here. You really need to be in the inside line. It seems that Smith takes a bit of a later apex and tries to power through, and the exit takes advantage of that 4-wheel drive. Again, both of these guys are going to struggle with tyre wear as the race goes on, but Holland, he's checked out.
I fear David Wilk is going to start forming a bit of a train behind him here, and he's going to have a lot of work to do. Still around 9.5 laps to go, and Wilk has about 5 or 6 drivers getting ready to queue up behind him. Leading that is Matthew Smith, who we're on board with now as they head up towards the hairpin. Matthew Smith has recovered very quickly, having lost around 8 to 9/10 to David Wilk only a lap or so ago. Quickly, he's brought that gap right down, and he's brought with him Natsuke Ota and also Adam Wilk as well, with Lee just in there as well.
Now this is David's race to lose at the moment. He's pretty much the cork in the bottle for the rest of the field. If he makes a mistake, Smith's going to go through. So is Otter, so is Wilk, so is Lee behind him as well. Hargreaves in the mix as well. We have 4 cars here, all separated by just over a second. This is much closer than we were in race 1. I'm glad we're going to go off on a high here today. Smith goes a bit wide though at T1 again, looking for that late apex it seems in that Lancer.
Yeah, he got a fantastic exit, didn't he? So definitely, I think going with the right line there, as Adam Wilk there in 5th place under a lot of pressure though. Hargreaves also queuing up behind Lee, who'll be keen to get past ASAP as they now head up towards the hairpin. But as Jimmy said, they're mostly hairpins around here. This battle for 2nd all the way stretches all the way back to 7th at the moment. And Simon Bishop then trying to close in as well, despite what happened to him a little bit earlier in the race. There we can see Hargreaves to the bottom left of your screen.
I've got a feeling we're probably going to hear a little conversation from the guys about car selection after this race.
Right.
We'll let you guys know about that conversation tomorrow. Wilk really under a lot of pressure now from Smith. He looked to the inside for a second, but the wash of the 4-wheel drive, you see all the cars struggling. They're just all understeering at this point, all trying to push as much grip out the tyre as possible. Adam Wilk goes to the inside of Otter, the Japanese driver, under threat. And up the inside he goes. Hasn't quite got the room. The Supra has the easier acceleration on the outside there, but now Wilk will be stuck on the outside himself, coming down to the hairpin in the middle sector. Smith, I think, is really pressuring David Wilk here. If David can keep that car just front and centre, he should be all right. But of course, the guys behind all fighting to get through now to the World Final. So if it's going to be an aggressive move, this is a race we're going to see it in.
Adam Wilk then, as you said, just trying that move, but unsuccessful on that attempt. Now he's having to defend ever so slightly. Smith hasn't really... Oh, and there we go. Briefly into 4th place there was Wilk, or was that Ota, just dropping back a place now. So it's all going off in 4th, 5th and 6th here. Lee is side by side there with Ota for 5th place, but can't quite get through. He's got to be brave on the inside, and just nudging Ota a little bit wide, and there we go. Lee up into 5th place. Very good move that. It took 2 corners to do it, but he's now up into 5th. Next on the list is Adam Wilk.
Is, of course, that's not really the fight. Oh, hello, side by side now. Wilk and Smith now, all very close. In the background, the 22B has come through. Lee there, the Hong Kong driver, not looking to take this lying down. Wilk there.
Oh, well.
Here comes Ota back in the Supra. Great battling here for second place. It could be anyone's towards the end.
This could be any one of these drivers you see on screen at the moment going through into the world final. They know this is the last race and they're all going to be desperate to get through. I think we have quite a nervous David Wilk leading the way here, but thankfully for him, behind Adam Wilk and Matt Smith going side by side. We've got Ota and Lee under investigation for a bit of an incident, which we saw only just a few corners ago, I believe, as Adam Wilk now gets to the inside of Matt Smith. Can he make the move through the final corner?
Oh, wow.
Yes, he does. 3rd place, and he's staring at a ticket to the World Finals now.
Now he has his fellow Wilk in front at the moment. Now this would be interesting. We're going to have rear-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive. Well, already looks up to the inside, not quite close enough though. Almost tags the rear of that R34, which would have had a slap on the wrist from the stewards, no doubt. But Wilk, look how Adam Wilk that is. Look how aggressive he is on David coming down now. I think Adam is the fastest of his bunch at the moment.
I think
we'll have to wait and see. In the background though, Lee and Smith coming together. It's the old style Lancer versus Impreza. It's been a while since we've seen that on the track. It's great to see it again here in Gran Turismo Sport. In the background, Hargreaves still there in the MR2, falling a little bit further back now. This is where some of the guys at the back really need to start pushing forward, because now that Adam is past David, Adam is going to start pulling away, I think.
This is a key part of the race. It's going to be interesting to see if David will, now he's not having to drag along everyone, if he actually starts to settle down a little bit and improve his lap times, because
so he on the straight, one hand on the straight. Oh wow, in the background, Lee and Smith getting close together again. The Lancer Impreza duel coming to blows, and I'm sure that Tommy Mackinnon and Richard Burns stuff coming back to Colin McRae, I should say. I think that was his era. My WRC knowledge is fantastic, apologies. But it reminds me of that, and there, look at that, they're backing the cars into the corner there. Only the Supra had traction going in there, the rest of them all sorts of sideways.
I'll tell you what, David Wilk has settled down now. That's our thoughts have definitely come true here, because he seems to be much more comfortable now in 3rd place. He had initially closed the gap to about half a second. It's hovering at around 6/10, and David Wilk, I think, is going to have a stab at trying to get back through to 2nd place here. He might be able to give himself a chance. It's now, will Adam Wilk make a mistake? I think the tables have just completely reversed. Smith, meanwhile, is under a lot of pressure. Lee's going to be very frustrated there in 5th place, because he can see the world final ticket up ahead slipping away from him. And Hargreaves is up to 6th place. I don't think we quite called that one, but he's now going after a 4th place finish in this one.
Oh! Again, Lee dives to the inside of Smith. This time gets it done. That's going to open up Smith, though, to an attack from Hargreaves in the MR2 behind. MR2 seems pretty tiny compared to the rest of the cars around here. I think maybe it's shrunk in the wash, the poor thing. But it's just about keeping up with these guys in 4th and 5th position. The thing I'm wondering, Chris, is whether we'll see the Wilks have a fight. Because if there is a fight, you know what that means. Slows them both up, there comes the rest of the cars, and becomes anyone's game over again. And I'm sure David is just as keen to get through to the world final as Adam is. While Holland takes the win at the front in the R32, we never really doubted that. But let's go back to the battle for second. Mr. Director's applause, yes, okay. And it is Adam Wilk that takes a final position in the Gran Turismo Nations Cup final. He'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, I saw a punch in the air there from Adam Wilk, and I saw David Wilk looking very, very disappointed. We're now shortly going to hear from the 6 drivers already through.